और दिल की कोई हसरत नहीं, हसरत नहीं, तुम निगाहों में हो बाबा।
I was just mentioning that out of all the ages in the cycle of life, confluence age seems to be the most significant age. Even though it is shortest in duration, the importance is great. One of the reason is that we know it is the only age in which God descends on this earth and adopts us as His children and creates this family. Even in the golden age, we will not be so elevated as we are at the present time. So this godly family in the confluence age is a very, very special family. Why? Because each and every one of us are special, and each and every one of us are lucky. No one is ordinary and no one is unfortunate. Is there anyone who is ordinary in this family? Any one of you consider yourself to be ordinary? No. Any one of you consider yourself to be unfortunate? No. Each and every one of us are fortunate and also special. Why? Because we are chosen by God Himself. We did not come to this family on our own. No, that is why many times we ask this question to Brahmins: did you find God or God found you? How many of you say, I found God? Can you stand up? Very, one, two, that's all. Most of us, what do we say? God found me. I did not even know how to search for God. And what made God to choose me out of so many millions of souls in the whole world? He saw some speciality. He saw something unique in me which other person don't have. So each one of us are unique, not only special, but unique. Unique means only of one kind. Nobody else is like me. I am the only one. So I am unique, I am special, because I have been chosen by God. And all of us have the same consciousness. And because all of us are special, this is a special family. In golden age also we will not be so special. But what happens many times within this Brahmin life, either we don't give the value that we deserve, or we do not recognize our specialities, or even if we recognize our specialities, we do not use it in God's work as God's gift. And so our specialities that God saw, that made Him to choose me, that made Him to fall in love with me, is not being, allowed to grow. That is why Baba says when you don't use your speciality, you lose your specialities. So one thing we must always remember, that I am a special soul. This is the greatest self-respect that I can give to myself. Because why I am special? Because no one can play my role as best as I could. There is no replacement. I cannot play your role, you cannot play my role. So, the most important thing that we need to practice and realize in our Brahmin life is to evaluate myself both negatively and positively. Now, the topic today is how to see the goodness in others without being influenced. This is something connected with Baba's blessing today. Because very often what happens is when we begin to see something good in others, when we see some specialities in others, we have the sanskar of either getting impressed or getting disliking feeling. And this morning Baba said in the Murli, a generous-hearted soul will never have the feeling of hate or dislike. So sometimes we wonder why that kind of feeling comes in our mind, in our heart, that when we see some souls within the Brahmin family, either we begin to say, I like this person very much, I like the virtue of this person very much, I can only do service with this particular person. Why this word is emphasized, this is the only one. So that means it is sure that I am impressed by them. I am not just seeing the goodness, but I am totally impressed by that person, influenced. And how do you know that you are impressed or influenced by someone? Is when you bow to them through their intellect, through your intellect bows to that soul, and you have lost your self-respect. And so what happens is that I will just keep doing, imitating whatever that person does without even thinking. As a result of that, what happens? Instead of becoming Bap Saman, when I get impressed by someone, influenced by someone in the name of saying goodness, in the beginning I like them very much, but sooner or later the other side begins hating. Love and hate. So this is why we have to find a method where we can be safe. We can keep ourselves safe whilst seeing the goodness in others, so that I don't lose the opportunity of receiving love from Baba. Because the intellect can be influenced only by one person at a time. So you have a choice. Either you allow your intellect to be influenced by Baba, or you allow your intellect to be influenced by human soul. Of course, if I allow my intellect to be influenced by Baba, I will become wise. My intellect becomes clean and clear. But if I allow my intellect to be influenced by human soul, my intellect becomes adulterated, unclear, unclean. And we must always remember that when I allow a human intellect to touch my intellect, it becomes untouchable. God will not touch that intellect, which is already touched by other human souls. So that is why we have to take a great care that seeing the goodness is very important. This is the first lesson that Baba teaches us. Whenever you see anyone, you see them with their specialities. But in the name of seeing specialities and goodness in other souls, I should not get impressed. I should not get influenced, but I should take myself, I should be in such a stage where I am safe. So one of the important method that we need to practice in order to save ourselves from getting influenced while seeing the goodness in others is to always seat myself in the seat of my self-respect. First important aspect, and what it means to seat myself in the seat of my self-respect, it means to know my specialities and also identify my weaknesses. Both. That is called self-respect. Self-respect does not mean you only know your specialities and not weakness. If that is so, then you will develop arrogance. So if you recognize your specialities without identifying your weakness, it can become arrogance. But if you identify your weaknesses without knowing your specialities, it can become lack of self-esteem. So either way, it is not good. So to remain seated in the seat of self-respect means evaluating myself totally, knowing my specialities, identifying my weakness, and not feeling guilty about it, which we call it as accepting myself as I am. Because when I am able to accept myself in this way, I am able to show love for myself. I am able to appreciate myself, the goodness that I have. So I allow that self-respect to grow. When I allow myself to be seated in this way and then come in contact with others, then I will see their goodness, I will appreciate their goodness without getting impressed. Why? Because if somebody else has another speciality, I have also identified my speciality. So first I know my specialities and then I identify the specialities of others, knowing my weaknesses, so I will not get impressed. But if I only see my weaknesses and see the specialities of others, that is when we begin to get influenced. We started to feel that we are nothing, we are useless. I am not good in this, I am not good in that. So we begin to count on our weaknesses, and that leads us to low self-esteem, and that makes us to bow in front of other souls, not because of self-respect, but because of lack of self-respect. So this is where I need to take care, to teach myself to see me as Baba would see me. If I always practice this kind of vision towards myself, then automatically I will be able to focus that kind of vision towards others. No, it is like becoming like a swan. No, what is the speciality of swan? The speciality of the swan is to pick pearls and leave stones, drink milk and leave the water. So in the same way, if I keep my intellect like a swan intellect, or if I use the divine intellect that Bapdada has given to me as a gift of this Brahmin life, then naturally, while seeing the goodness, I will absorb that goodness and practice that within myself. So then the weakness they have, it doesn't affect me. It is not that I do not know their weakness. I am aware of their weakness, but I don't dwell in their weakness. That is what Baba meant by seeing the goodness. That means look at the specialities without dwelling in the weakness of others. It is not that you are blind. We are aware of it, but we don't entertain thoughts because we know we also have some other weaknesses. But because when we see somebody without identifying our weaknesses, then we begin to have dislikingness for someone. If I have any feeling of dislikingness, that is also a form of influence. If you have the sanskara of getting impressed by someone, that is also my weakness. If I get influenced by the weakness of someone, that is also my weakness. So I need to check myself. When I interact with souls, when I come in contact with others, do I have equal vision for all? Just like Dadi Prakashmani, Yesterday she was telling us very beautiful point. She said, what is that one speciality she has that made her into Dadi today? Equal to Mama and Baba. The one speciality she says, she never ever get attached to anyone, nor she allows anyone to get attached to her. She love one and love all. So if I have extra love for 1 or 2%, that is a sign of getting attracted. First it begins with attraction, then attachment, and then it goes into indulgence in that attachment, which it could become lust later on. So this is why Baba has made us very clear today, if you want to remain safe, first of all, whenever you see any goodness in others, any specialities in others, immediately bring that awareness. Who gave that speciality to this one? The bestower is Baba. So if you like someone's speciality, don't get impressed by them, but let your intellect be pulled to the source from where they got that speciality. And if you connect your intellect with the source, you are able to absorb that speciality into your life also. Because all of us, we realize many of the specialities that we have in our life today, it is gift from God. We did not know many things, right? We were not capable of doing so many things. It is just because Baba made me his child He has given me that gift. So it is not mine. So even when I see my own speciality, I need to use that attitude that this is God's gift. And when I see the speciality of others also, immediately the awareness that this is a gift from God to them. So when I have that awareness, I will appreciate without getting impressed. This is an art. How to appreciate without getting impressed. Because appreciation is a virtue. Getting impressed is a vice. It's a weakness. It's lack of purity. It will not allow us to have powerful yoga. You know, how do you know you are impressed by somebody's virtue, somebody's body, somebody's beauty, somebody's way of speaking, whatever it could be? How do you know your intellect has bowed down to them? The first sign is whenever you want to remember Baba, that person comes between you and Baba. It will be like an obstacle, barrier. You want to remember Baba, that person comes. So if that happens very often, I must know that I am impressed by that one. But the other way also can happen. Suppose if you see someone and you don't like something from them, say, you know, they are impatient and they are angry or whatever, you have a feeling of dislikingness. That is also a form of attachment. And you will find that that person also becomes an obstacle in between you and Baba. So that is why I have to make sure that nobody and nobody have the courage to come in between me and Baba. Do you have courage? Not to allow, even in dream, anybody and anybody to come in between me and Baba. Why do they come? Why do they come? Because they know that you love them more than you love Baba. You understand? That person who comes in between you and Baba know that you love that person a little bit more than you love Baba. And that is why they have access to interfere in your yoga with Baba. You understand? See, like if you have a red phone and you are talking to the Prime Minister, the President, can anyone interrupt? Nobody can cut the line off. It's a red phone. So if somebody can interfere, it does happen with ordinary phone. So that means that there is something wrong in the line, isn't it? So immediately I must check, why did the person come? What is that person going to give me which Baba has not given? Why my intellect is pulling towards that person? Why that influence? So if I am able to catch the thief at that time, I am able to make myself safe. So this is why Baba says, you know, when Jagdish Bhai was in the body, many of you may not know him. Brother Jagdish, who was one of our original jewels of the Yagya, he always used to say, always remember, in order not to be influenced by the speciality of others, love everyone, but don't love anyone more than you love Baba. If you love anyone more than you love Baba, you are in danger. because that person will come to interrupt your yoga. So that is a sign that you have bowed your intellect. And the other thing he also used to say was, don't allow anyone to love you more than they love Baba. Why? Because otherwise you will become an obstacle in their yoga with Baba. So the secret is to see the goodness in others whilst holding on to my speciality. Try that. Recognize your speciality. Remain seated in the seat of that self-respect. And then come in contact with others. Interact with others. Seeing and appreciating their speciality. You will never get impressed, but you will always admire, appreciate, acknowledge their speciality, and that brings zeal and enthusiasm in the souls. You know what it means to appreciate? It means to give that encouragement. You have done very well. It's wonderful. Maybe that is all they could have done. But only that is possible when I hold on to my speciality, remain in that seat of self-respect, see myself as Baba would see me, and then see other souls. And the second thing, as I said, not to get impressed or influenced, I must always remind myself, whatever speciality each one has in this family, that is given to them as a gift from God. So I cannot be impressed by that speciality and take advantage of that. I can appreciate, admire, not taking advantage of that speciality by getting impressed. That means I am not using Srimad properly. You know, sometimes it does happen. Baba uses different souls for his service. He knows the method, you know. So if Baba is using certain souls because of their speciality and getting his work done, who am I to come in between and claim the responsibility of making that speciality grow? I did not do anything. So if I get impressed by that person, it is like I am interfering in the task of God. So he will get, she will get what he is supposed to receive, but I will be the loser. So this is why it is important that when we see the specialities of souls in the Brahmin family, we should remind ourselves, this is God's gift to them, and Baba is using them as an instrument because of that speciality. So va Baba, va drama, and va their fortune. How he is creating the fortune of souls. I don't need to come in between to take some share, credit for the service being done from them. I don't have any reason to come in between. Because sometimes we do get impressed, by seeing certain souls doing service or helping Baba in a different way. And we begin to treat them, give them extra attention, extra time. So in that way, I will be obstructing Baba, I will be obstructing that soul from being used by Baba. So this is where I need to give attention that I have mercy, but I don't show Maya's mercy on anyone. Either we get impressed, or as I said, we have a kind of dislikingness So we move away from souls, or we try to cling on to souls. So when we cling on to souls, Baba disappears from there. So the intellect doesn't have that power anymore. That is why Baba says, don't have Maya's mercy on anyone. Always have mercy based on knowledge. Sometimes we get impressed in another way. See, sometimes some souls are weak and they are doing something wrong against Srimad. And we try to show compassion to them. In a way, actually, I am showing Maya's mercy by saying, poor things, I become pitiful towards them. So it is also a way of getting impressed. To show wrong mercy and have pity for souls who are doing wrong things is also a form of getting impressed, influenced. You understand? This is very difficult to understand because it is very subtle. So what happens is, those souls who are doing wrong things, they are so weak and they will consider you at that time as God for them. And they will make you the support. And so in the beginning you enjoy all the praise and everything they give to you. But in the long run, you will be in trouble. Why? Because they will try to drain energy from you and you will end up one day in burnout. Then love turns into hate. So this is where I have to make sure that I don't show wrong mercy by giving encouragement or company, support to souls who are doing wrong things out of their weakness, influenced by their weakness. Mercy is good. Compassion is good. And if you have real mercy and compassion, you will be able to guide souls to do the right things in the right way. Mercy is love in action. Definitely we must have mercy, but not Maya's mercy. That is when you know that you are, while seeing the goodness, you have become impressed by them. So you are allowing them to be influenced by their own sanskaras. Sometimes we may not even get influenced by other people's good or bad. The third aspect is, we get influenced by our own goodness sometimes. That is the biggest problem. We get impressed by our own specialities. And so what happens? When we get impressed by our own goodness, ego grows very faster. So then we begin to think there is no one like me. So the I consciousness begin to develop. And that is the biggest obstacle in our progress. So even when I look at my Brahmin life, if I identify any speciality, any goodness in me, I should be really humble to offer that to Baba. Let it be offered and considered as prasad, holy food given by God. And when I am using that speciality, it is as if I am distributing that prasad, holy prasad, to all souls. So there will not be any trace of arrogance. Because when we are influenced by our own specialities, that will also not allow me to take from Baba and allow the Brahmin life to grow. So one is influenced by my own goodness, or sometimes influenced by my own weaknesses. Some of us consider ourselves to be nothing, and some of us consider ourselves to be everything. No, that is why the other day Dadi Janki was telling, why is that nowadays people, 1 minute they are laughing and, giggling and smiling, and next moment they are so depressed. Why? Because one moment they think they are everything, and in the next moment, I am nothing, useless. So that kind of upheaval should not happen. See, seated on the seat of self-respect means not to underestimate, not to overestimate, not to think I am nothing, not to think I am everything. I am what I am. Right? I am what I am. So the slogan sometimes comes to my mind is, I am no better than anyone. I am not worse than anyone. I am what I am. Make this slogan strong written on your heart. Then you will never ever lose your self-respect. I am special. I have my own goodness and I have my own weaknesses. But of course I want to remove my weaknesses. But when I use the speciality that Baba has given me, the weaknesses will always disappear automatically. What happens within the Brahmin family? Some of us, since we have come to Baba, we have been using the speciality that Baba has given us according to Srimad in action. So that speciality is growing and growing and growing. When other Brahmins see us growing, they become jealous. Why? Because they also have the speciality, but they have not used it. So that speciality has died out. So when we interact with each other, there is a feeling of hopelessness or jealousy. Why? Because when they see other people's speciality and they are growing, they become jealous or hopeless. But there is no need for it. If I keep using the speciality that Baba has given me as a gift from God, the proof is my gift will become a lift for others. This is the proof. You experiment. Whatever speciality Baba has given you, if you are using that speciality with the consciousness, this is not mine, this is God given. I am only an instrument that Baba is using this. So that will become a lift, upliftment for other souls. So that means I don't need to take any credit. So if I am applying this knowledge for myself in this way, and when I see others using their speciality, I won't get impressed. I won't, interfere in what they are receiving from Baba, but I will be detached observer, observing and appreciating. So if you are really appreciating the goodness in others without getting impressed, you will not be attached to that person. You will be a detached observer. You will be detached observer without interfering. Because when I get impressed by the goodness of others, I interfere. So neither I can play my role to the best of my ability, nor I allow the other soul to do so. So this is why it is important for me to check. When I come in contact with other souls, particularly in the Brahmin family, what happens in the beginning when we are new? we practice that very well. I am sure you all remember your childhood days. You know, we also aware of our specialities. We really have that appreciation. But then as we begin to live together for a while and doing service together for some years, we become familiar. So when that familiarity comes in, self-respect is lost. So, you know, I was asking once, Jayanti Ben was sharing her experience because she lives with Dadi so close, no? Sometimes when you're living close to somebody, you know, that familiarity can, lead into other things, isn't it? Seeing the weakness also. So I was asking Jayanti Ben what method she uses to keep that respect for each other all the time. This is what she mentioned, that I never allow the familiarity to come into our relationship. It can be between sisters and sisters, sisters and brothers, brothers and brothers. When we come too close to someone, you know, if you allow that familiarity, then you lose self-respect. In the beginning, you begin to see the goodness, and then sooner you start to see the weaknesses, and then your relationship is spoiled. So don't allow the familiarity to come in your relationship if you want to save yourself from being influenced, either positively or negatively. Now, what is familiarity? Familiarity is coming into relationship with personal feelings for each other. You know, when I have personal feelings, there will be likes and dislikes. And that creates familiarity, and that breeds actually attachment, attraction, repulsion, everything. So if I want to just see the goodness and appreciate, I need to be a detached observer. See, look at Shiv Baba, no? He knows our weaknesses. Does he not know our weaknesses? This morning he said he has a tape recorder and TV and all these things. But he also knows our specialities. He don't get affected. And he doesn't stop doing what he is supposed to do for us. That is why he is called love. Because he is detached. So this is what we need to learn. When we come in contact with each other, to see only the goodness, not to be affected by their weakness. Be a detached observer. See everything, know everything, and not be affected. If you have that experience, you can give certificate to yourself you are detached. If I get influenced by the weakness, I will have dislike. If I get impressed by the goodness, I will be impressed. So either way, my intellect will be always wandering. So if I am detached, I will not stop doing what I am doing for that person. I will not do anything extra. My vision will be the same. So this is why you see there is a difference in the vision that Baba has for all of us and we have for ourselves and the vision we have for each other. You think there is a difference? See, the other day Baba came. What was Baba's vision towards all of us? We say it is an elevated vision, right? And what it means to have an elevated vision? It means to see the soul and the goodness in the soul. Right? So do I have the same vision towards myself? So I will have the vision of the past and the present. Baba's vision is three aspects: past, present and future. My vision towards myself is of the past. maybe sometimes the present. And when we come in contact with others, what is our vision? Do we have the three aspects of time? Not always. So we have to copy Baba in this way, to have the vision towards others, keeping the three aspects of time: the past, the present, and the future. Then I am able to see the goodness in them, appreciate the goodness, and absorb that goodness into myself. I often hear the comments from people saying, I like this person, I don't like this person. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Do we say like that? I don't like this person, I like this person. It's a common expression. So when we say, I don't like this person, what do you don't like? Maybe the way they behave, maybe they are impatient, they are angry. So what you don't like actually? Anger? Impatience? So if you don't like anger, you keep away from anger, but don't keep away from the person. The person did not do anything wrong actually. What you did not like in the person is anger and impatience. So if you don't like anger and impatience in your life, keep away from them, but don't keep away from the person. Same thing when you say, I like this person. What do you like? They are happy, they are smiling, they are cheerful. So what should you do? It's not that you won't cling on to that person because you like them. But what you like is their happiness, their cheerfulness. So you adopt that in your life. You take that virtue into your life. But don't cling on to that person, because if you cling on to that person because you like them, you don't become like them anyway. Say for example, today, Queen Elizabeth comes to India to visit and I like her, so I go after her and to see her. How long you can look at her? 10 minutes, 15 minutes? You don't become like her by looking at her. But you have to know what did she do that she became like that. And I have to do that in my life too, isn't it? So sometimes we don't understand what do we say. We say, I like this person, so we go after them. We chase after them, we imitate them. But then I don't become like them. So if you really like someone, you must understand what you like in them, you practice that virtue. See, that is what is called taking the goodness, becoming a thief of virtue. You understand? Become a thief of virtues, steal virtues from everybody. You are allowed to do this stealing. And once Baba gave a certificate to Dadi Janki, she is very good, expert in, stealing virtue from everyone. Otherwise, how do you become all virtuous? See, if you keep a list of 36 virtues in front of you and start to practice, you get so heavy. Oh, 36 virtues. But the shortcut to become all virtuous is pick one virtue from everyone and then you become all virtuous. Easy way. But don't go after somebody because they have virtues. If you chase after someone, you say, I like them very much because they are so good, you don't become good yourself. But you have to know the trick, how they become that good, and you practice that in your life. So next time when you say, I like this person, remind yourself, what do you like? Their body? Their skin? Their physical appearance? No. We know that this body is made up of 5 elements, it's going to go. But what I like is the way they conduct themselves, the way they give Baba's knowledge, the way they present themselves. So I steal that virtue. Not imitating, imitation is body consciousness. But follow, steal that virtue into your life. So who can actually become the one who steal virtue from everyone, from everything, every situation? The one who has a learning attitude. If you always remember you are a student and you want to learn, you are a seeker. So you will always see the good in everything and take the goodness into yourself. And you yourself become good. But if I have closed my mind of learning, if I begin to think I know everything, then even if there is goodness in something, I cannot take it. So this is something I have always to remind myself. And something really touched me this morning when Baba was talking. Baba says you cannot give donation to Brahmins. Can we donate to Brahmins? Because Brahmins have received the fortune from God Himself. But what we can do is give cooperation. Cooperation of virtues. We can give cooperation of virtues and powers to Brahmins. So how do we do that? When we use whatever virtue that Baba has given us, according to Baba's Srimad, when we are experimenting with the virtues and powers, you are actually giving cooperation to someone. Let me give you a simple example. Say someone gets angry because of their own sanskaras. Now how can I give them the cooperation? I have to give them the cooperation of tolerance at that time. When somebody is in anger, my task is to give them the cooperation of tolerance. So if at that time, instead of getting angry myself, if I have the power of tolerance, I have done two jobs at the same time. One is I have forgiven them. That means I have forgiven them and also given them the cooperation of tolerance. So later they will appreciate. So whenever a person who comes in front of you gets angry, you must remember that that person is begging from you, please give me the cooperation of tolerance. Because a person who does not have tolerance only gets angry. Do you agree with me? Is it right or not? If I don't have tolerance, only then I lose my patience and I get angry. So that means I am asking from the person with me, please give me the cooperation of tolerance. I don't have. So if you understand this secret, you will forgive the person who is getting angry with you, but instead you tolerate. And if that toleration is also not out of desperation, not out of compulsion, but it is an honor. Why? Because I remember Baba said you must tolerate. So I am obedient to Baba. So I get the marks for being obedient. And I also claim the marks for giving the blessings of tolerance. So double marks. So that means my virtue will automatically increase tolerance. But I have also made another person have that power of tolerance. So actually, when I am aware of my own self as a soul, only then I can do that. You know, many times it happens in human life, even if someone has done 99 good things to us, maybe one little bad, what do we remember most of the time? Whenever you remember, see that person, only that once or twice something they have done, that is what I remember. Now the transformation Baba wishes to see is that neither I should remember what that person did to me, nor I should remind that person what they did. So that is real transformation. You understand me? You know, if someone has done even 99 bad things to me, say for example, but my power of forgiveness should be so deep that I forgive and forget what they did to me. Through the power of my forgiveness, I make them forget, so that that person can come in front of me without any hesitation. You understand? This is a little bit subtle point. Why is that someone who is hurt, you know, today Baba said in the Murli, when someone is hurt, they keep remembering the person who hurted them. Now, why that person is remembered is because the person who hurt the person has not forgotten, and because they have not forgiven. So if I have forgiven that from my heart, understanding that we are all effort makers and we all make mistakes, it's okay. So that means that has gone from their heart also. So you have actually allowed that person to take the donation of virtues. So this kind of generosity I need to have in my relationship with each other. You know, it is not I get impressed by the person who has good qualities, but very often it happens we have more disliking for the person who does not have the quality according to Baba's direction. You know, for example, if you are living with two people together, and if one person is not following Srimad properly, and you are accurate, so what kind of feeling you have for the other person? You will only see what they are not doing, but they are doing something good also. Why not look at it? You know, because this is a kind of charitable action we need to perform in the Brahmin life. No, if someone is weak in certain things, but they are good in certain other things, give them the strength by, you know, noting the goodness they are doing, so that they get the strength to realize what they are supposed to do. But sometimes what we do in the Brahmin family, we not only see the defects, but we go and make a propaganda of the defect to other people. So by doing so, we have not given any help to that soul. In fact, we have made that soul even weaker. So if you really love that person, if you have mercy for that person, what do? You actually give them the strength by not speaking about it to anybody, not even thinking in your mind, but having good wishes. Then you are able to strengthen their good qualities and allow them to grow. I remember once Dadi was saying, you know, say suppose someone has done something really wrong, and you cannot keep it in your heart, no? So you go and tell somebody, this person has done this, it is not right. Now, you carry more burden on your head than the person who did wrong. Because that person only did on their own, and you become the carrier of that wrongdoings and spread it in the atmosphere. So the burden of sins of that person is greater. So this is why we should remember that we are family. What happens within the family? If any other member is weak, we help each other and make them strong, isn't it? Suppose if a patient is sick and the doctor knows that the patient is going to die tomorrow, and if the doctors will say straight to the patient, look, you are going to die tomorrow, that patient will die immediately. It's a shock, isn't it? So if somebody already knows that they are weak, and on the top of it, you go and spread their weakness, so what will happen to them? They get even weaker. So as a family, what we need to do is to consider other person's weakness as my weakness. So this is what Baba said, no? Whatever mine is yours and whatever yours is mine. That means when I consider other person's weakness as mine, what will I do? I accommodate it. Like we don't go and make a propaganda of our weaknesses, you know. We don't go and announce it on the loudspeaker, I have all these weaknesses. But we do it about others. Why? Because we don't consider them as our own. But if we are all family members, if your weakness is my weakness, your merit is my merit also. So if I have that kind of attitude, we can give strength to each other. Without getting impressed, without having dislikingness. So it is only then we are able to grow together. No, as Baba said today, the two garlands of success is unity and concentration. So how can we remain united? Like a rosary, a beads in the rosary. So we all have to be threaded in the thread of love. So when I love you, what it means? We misunderstand the word love, you know. When Baba says he loves us, what he means? He sees the goodness in us without getting affected by the weaknesses. So when we say we love each other, it's nothing to do with any other aspect, but we look at the soul and we appreciate the speciality. We encourage that soul to use that speciality for Baba's work. That is what it means to love another soul in the Brahmin family. Because we know that Baba looks at us as souls because he always encourages us to use our specialities in Baba's work. So if all of us begin to use our energy in this way, what will happen? Automatically, you know, we become what we call united we stand. Unity is strength. That is why it is important to see the speciality and not get impressed. So that is why Dadi always gives the example of being like a honey bee and not a house fly. No, honey bee picks honey from every flower and collects it in the honeycomb. But the house fly sits on the dirt and people chase it away. But I should not be so sticky that after taking the speciality, I cling on to that one. So love means freedom. If you love someone, you should not be dependent on them and they should not be dependent on you. You should experience total freedom. It's like a bird, not in the cage, but a free bird. You know, love is understanding, love is acceptance, love is selflessness. You know, love is in the soul. That is why there is nothing to say, you know, I love this one, I don't love. So if my intellect is unlimited, that is how I am able to pick good from everything and then become good myself. So this is what Baba teaches us, this is what Brahma Baba did. You know, Brahma Baba used to teach how to see goodness even in snakes, Scorpio, even in the elements of matter. Sometimes in Sakar Baba's Murli, Baba says, you don't even have the sense as much as the Scorpio. Now, does Scorpio has any speciality? Yes, it does have. See, when it is walking on a hard surface, it doesn't waste its poison. Only when it feels a soft surface, it will sting. We don't even see the pulse of the people when we give knowledge. We just go and give knowledge to anybody, everybody, and they throw it away. Just like giving jewels in the hands of monkeys. Monkeys only want peanuts, you know. How can they know the value? No, sometimes Baba says we don't even have the sense as much as that of the snake. Snake leaves one skin and put on another one so easily. We have so much attachment to the body. If someone die, we cry for the whole year. That means Baba used to teach how to take goodness from everything, even from the nature. So if there is speciality, that is why we are here. We can't say, oh, this one doesn't have any speciality, what can I do? Can we say? Is there anyone in the Brahmin family who doesn't have any speciality? At least there is one speciality, we have recognized God. And we have come into God's family. So let me see that. But then while seeing the speciality, let me not get carried away. This is the weakness sometimes we have, you know. We begin to learn to see the speciality, and then we get carried away. We forget the one who has given that to us. So this is why we have to do two things at the same time. We have to see everyone as souls, and if I am seeing others in soul consciousness, I will definitely see their speciality. If I see anyone's defect, it is body consciousness, no matter who it is. Even if you are in the knowledge for 40 years. But if I see someone's defect, without noting their speciality, I am body conscious. So I have to correct myself. You know, Dadi Janki used to say, to see the defect of others is a sign of a defective eye. My eyes is defective. It is not their defect. So I must get my eye checked first. I must get my vision checked first. So because I see others as I am. So also at the same time, I should not be carried away. I must go back to my seat of self-respect all the time. So that is why, you know, we say we are three in one. You know, what I think I am, what I think I am, what I am, what others think I am. Three things. So we are going to do a simple exercise now to find out what I think I am, what others think I am, and what really am I. Okay, so what we will do now is, I will ask you to write the name of 3 animals you like. Four-legged animal, not mammals, not reptiles, lizards and things like that. 3 names of animals, three names. 3 names of the animals you like the most. Four-legged animal. You can do it quickly. And now after writing the 3 names of the animals, write 3 qualities you admire the most of each animal. If you write horse, 3 qualities you admire in the horse. Or if you write cow, you write 3 specialities that you admire when you look at a cow. Anything like that. 3 names of the animals and 3 specialities for each one. You understand? All of you understood what I mean? Names of 3 animals and 3 qualities of each one of them. Yes? Very easy. Now, have you all finished? Okay. Now the first one, can one of you get up? Get up and say what you have written, those who can speak English. Yes, please. Okay. Isko mic dena 1 minute. What is the name of the animal you have written and what are the 3 qualities? 1 minute. He'll give you the mic. This is to find out something. Okay. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Okay. First name?
I've written dog,
Dog. 3 qualities.
loves unconditionally,
Huh.
faithful,
Huh.
and doesn't complain.
Okay. Second one?
Tiger,
Tiger.
strong, regal, beautiful.
And third one?
Monkey, cute, playful, and imitates.
Okay. So each one of you must have written, right? Now, the first one that you have written, dog, that is what you think you are. Each one of you can check yours. Huh? And the second one is what others think you are. Does it make sense? And the third one is what you really are. So that means you are
A monkey.
monkey. That's okay. Baba says we are all monkeys. But it's the qualities I mean.
Yeah, they were cute,
Cute.
playful,
Playful.
imitates.
Yeah, imitates. Okay. Anybody else want to share? English speaking? Huh? Come on. You're scared to find out? Yes, come. What you think you are, what others think, and what you really are.
Собака, верность. Dog. First animal is dog. Truthfulness. Кошка, нежность. Cat. Tenderness. Львица, царица. And the lioness is a Tsar, wife of the Tsar.
So you are lioness.
И волчица мать.
So you are lioness. So what I think I am, what others think I am, and what I am makes a lot of difference. You see? So each one of you have written, subconsciously you have written the right thing. Because sometimes we think we are this and we are that and everything, you know. But when the situation comes, the real me comes out. So when we come to Baba's knowledge, this is what Baba teaches us. To be what I am, not to pretend what others think I am. Not to pretend what I think I want to be, you know. Let me be as I am. That is what I said earlier. I am no better than anyone. I am no worse than anyone. I am what I am. So we just did this exercise to let me know what I am. Because if I identify myself as I am, what I am and who I am, I will be able to have self-respect. And then I am able to respect others without getting influenced. To respect others does not mean that you have to bow physically. You know, bowing is not out of lack of self-respect, but out of their uniqueness. You also have some speciality, but they also have some speciality. So they are unique, you are unique. You are two different persons. So you appreciate and admire and you bow in front of them to show their appreciation, not because you are nothing. So that is very important to hold on to, so that we never have likes and dislikes and hate and, you know, dislikingness, which in the form of opposites does not allow us to remain stable. So if we practice this kind of exchange amongst each other, then our love for Baba will always remain constant. Now why we call God as God is because God is all goodness. You know, God is all goodness. And so if I want to become like God, I also have to be an embodiment of goodness. So that is why the slogan I would like to leave with you, as Baba says, Baba teaches us, is to think good, and be good, and then do good. so that we constantly able to see the goodness and come close to God. Om Shanti.
एहसान तुम्हारा ओ बाबा, बदली हमारी किस्मत